What up, everybody? Welcome to Trust the Tape. If my mic is working, that means we're off to a better start than yesterday. My name is Jeff. And across the way, I don't know which way. Oh, I got it right. That way is the great Bryan Broaddus, who you know from literally everywhere. That man has a Super Bowl ring as a scout.
Hey, Brian.
It's good to see you, Brian.
Good to see you, Jeffrey.
It's good to see you. There's a lot of stuff going on in Cowboy world. This is usually a lot of draft talk, and we'll have a lot of draft talk, but there's also other things going on with the Cowboys right now. Zach Martin is officially gone.
Yeah.
They may or may not be active in free agency. They're flipping their switches to have $55 million in cap space, which means they have cap space to sign players. And then Jerry immediately said after that, we don't need to use free agency to fill our voids.
Yeah.
Which seems to be very counterproductive because there's nothing else you could do with cap space other than sign players. So I think Jerry's a liar, but you don't have to say that word. Will the Cowboys be signing people?
I think the Cowboys will be signing people. I really do. I think there are people in that organization that see exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles do. And when you play in this game and you want to tell us that you're a personnel department 24/7, 24/7 requires more than just being a draft and develop team. It requires trades. It requires free agency. It requires your ability to be able to trade. And so, you know, those are the things that winning football teams are doing right now. You look at, like, say, what the Eagles have done. That's a great example. They move on from players very quickly. If they don't work, they try and fill holes quickly. They're very proactive in getting contracts done. You could just look at the number of players that they have, well over $10 million a year. It's impressive how they operate. Yeah, it's very impressive how they operate. And I do believe that there are people in the organization coming out of the combine that took notice to what the Philadelphia Eagles have done. And I believe that now, first day of free agency, probably not. Second day of free agency, probably not. But they're not going to bottom fish in this thing. I think they're legitimately going to try and sign some guys. I think that they're off to the good start with Bosa. They caught a friendly agent that helped them along the way. They need more of those. But you know, seriously, they're at our station, as you know, Jeff, Gavin Dawson gave them the nickname the Cavemen, because of how they cave on contracts at times. And, you know, so, you know, agents know that. But if you can find ones that will be willing to work with you, I think this is where the combine comes into play, where the bus comes into play, where the interaction with the agents help. You get an idea, the framework of where it's going to go. I think Jerry was saying he doesn't look at free agency as something that they're going to do. I think they are going to do it. I think there's enough people with what I've heard coming out of Indy that they realize that they have to do more. And I anticipate that happen. Like I said, probably not day one, day two, but they'll be in the middle of some of these, I believe.
Yeah, and I don't think it requires everybody's not going to be the Eagles. Everybody's not going to plan a year that's a half decade away where so many things are going to run out and it's going to be like duck and cover. That's trouble. Everyone probably won't be that aggressive, but like Bill Barnwell did his free agency thing where he took each position and kind of put them into 6 different tiers, like your, you know, your studs, your potential Pro Bowlers, your starters, your blah, blah, blah. And if there's 6 tiers, the Cowboys tend to shop in tier 6. All I ask is that you shop in tier 3 and tier 4 instead of tier 6. You don't have to go to 1.
I think I do. I think just everything that I heard coming out of the combine from various people that I know, respect, trust, the Cowboys understand where they're at when it comes to this player personnel stuff. They understand that you have to be more than just a draft and develop team. There's a clear picture of how this works. If you look at the team within your own division, you now have to play catch up. You are the 3rd best team in this league, or excuse me, in this division. You want to continue to draft and develop, you will continue to be the 3rd or 4th best team in this division. And Will McClay has prided himself on being able to build a team that can win the division. Howie Roseman is building a team that can win the conference and ultimately win the Super Bowl. You have to play in that arena if you want to do this, even if you want to win your own division. You have to play in that arena, and you have to figure it out. How do they have 12 or 13 guys that they pay that kind of money to and keep their team? Yeah, sure, it's kick the can and all that. But you know what? I think that if I was a general manager for one of these teams, I would be super aggressive, because if it doesn't work, they're going to fire me anyway, and it's somebody else's problem. Here, it doesn't work that way. The guy gets to stay. But what you need to do is realize that you are working against, and I'm going to use the word desperate, and I mean desperate in respect. I don't mean desperate as panicky and out of control.
No,
I
people
mean,
with jobs on the line do their jobs differently.
Bingo. That guy in Philadelphia, and I've said it before, he wakes up every day thinking about making his team better. Is he desperate about his job? No. Is Jeff Lurie going to fire him? No. But he's desperate to make his team better than it was the year before. And it's that kind of passion, that kind of hunger, that kind of willingness to every day walk out there and say, I could get fired tomorrow, so I have to do the job this way. And I think there's a lot of general managers around the league. You're going to see that with the Giants. That guy's got 1 foot in the parking lot right now after all the things that went down last year.
Yeah.
You know, all that, he's got 1 foot in the parking lot. You watch him try and trade up and get the first overall pick. Watch him try and do
that idiot. He's supposed to have the first overall pick.
No question.
Teams need to call me when there's like 3 games left in the season. If you're in first,
you're absolutely right.
I'm going to piss off all my best players. Malik Neighbors, you're not playing football the rest of the year. Like winning in week 18 means they now have to trade for their quarterback instead of just picking him.
You know what? And it happened because, you can't ask coaches to go out and tank games. You can't.
No, you tell players you're inactive this week. The end.
Okay,
but for months. By camp, you'll be over.
I get it. I do. I was talking to people with the Dallas Mavericks the other day, and I know it's a different subject. They're still trying to win games because that's their job. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Right now, we're like, no, shut everybody down. Take the 4% chance of getting the player from Duke. They
got nobody left. They got nobody left.
That's what I'm saying. But there's people on the staff that believed if we could just get a couple of guys back, we could be more competitive. But that's how coaches think.
For sure.
That's what Lovie Smith did in the last week of the season and got the Houston Texans the second overall pick. That's the kind of mentality they have. It did work out. But I'm just saying, if you're a general manager who has 1 foot in the parking lot with the U-Haul running, it's going to be somebody else's problem, because I am going to swing for the fences and do. Now, how he swings for the fences, he's got job security, but he acts like he doesn't have job security.
Yeah.
That's the difference, right?
We got some super chats, including a 50 bomb, but Ecuador man is in here. Jeff, in what world did the Cowboys spend? Come on. You got to learn. You
have to. And like I said, I have heard this from enough people, and sure, this could all backfire on me. But talking to people coming out of Indy, they realize that they have to do something different. And if something different, I told you, not day one, not day two, but watch them try and get in the mix on some of these guys. And much like what they did a couple years, like
Davante Adams,
we'll see. Just
Metcalf.
Just take. What's funny though? I heard from John Snyder that he wasn't trading that kid. Wasn't trading that guy. A couple weeks. I mean, something might have changed. But I was getting word that John wasn't going to trade that guy.
And it's harder with the guys that you would have to trade for that obviously are going to want a new contract too. He's got 1 year
sure.
left. You would have to trade a 3 or something and then pay him.
Oh no, I had a scenario the other day where I asked my guys at the station, would you consider trading the 12th overall pick to Cleveland for Myles Garrett?
Oh,
and that would because there's whispers coming out, and Daniel Jeremiah was talking about this too. There were whispers that Cleveland was looking at taking the receiver from Colorado or the cornerback, whichever you want to play him, and then coming back into the draft, say at the commander spot at 29. Now, Shedeur Sanders would have to get past Seattle at 18, and I believe Pittsburgh at 21. But if you wanted to, would you trade? If you were the Cowboys, would you give up? If all it cost you was the 12th overall pick?
All day. I'd do it singing and dancing.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of things you kind of need to think about. So it was a rumor that was thrown out there. I asked my guys, I said, would you do this? And just like you just did, Like I said, absolutely, in a heartbeat. We'd absolutely do this.
Do I believe that the Cowboys will go that big? I don't, but boy, would I would have some positive words for Jerry if that did happen. 50 bomb! And it's a 50 bomb that I can't answer, which is the worst feeling on planet Earth. What do y'all think about LaQuintal in Syracuse? He's on my running back list. I haven't watched him yet. I know he's a 2-year starter who's gone over 1,000 yards the last 2 years and scored a bunch of touchdowns.
No, he fits in. He fits in. He absolutely fits in. I'm to the point now where I'm looking at guys in the 3rd, 4th round, and it's getting really hard for me to stack these 3rd, 4th round running backs. Have
you seen him? Is he in that mix?
Yeah. Oh no, he's absolutely in that mix. He's absolutely in that mix.
This guy's good.
Yeah, no, there is. If you really want to stretch, and the more that you dive into this, we're getting down to the point where I am looking at guys that are 4th, 5th round guys. Occasionally, you'll get a guy. I looked at a tight end, Ferguson from Oregon the other day.
He's not bad.
Fits right into the, should have been looking at a 3rd round guy right there.
Do you want to know the random tight end that I think I'm way higher on than most of the world, and I don't know where you are
don't
on tight ends?
Don't say Mason Taylor from LSU, because that's my guy. I've told people this, and it's hard for me. I know that people know I'm an LSU homer. I
got him as a 2nd round guy, and I see the whole world talking about him on day 3.
No, I
think he's a good player.
He absolutely is. If you like Warren from Penn State, Mason Taylor's right there with him. Trust me, I watched him play. I watched that kid play. I say kid. Everybody gets mad when I call them kids. I saw that player play every weekend. And when your Heisman Trophy winning quarterback that's now leading the Commanders needed a play, or now when Garrett Nussmeier needed a play, who do you throw the ball to? Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor it's 3rd and 16. He gets 18 yards. That's the type of player that he is. 2-point conversion to win the game. Who'd they throw the ball to? Mason Taylor. And LSU's got great receivers. They got great receivers. They throw the ball to that kid. I've said it. I said it before this whole process even started. He is a kid that nobody was talking about, and I said, no, you're gonna understand who this guy is. You are going to understand who this player is.
I think he's a top 50 pick. I think he's maybe a top 40 pick.
No question.
Ivy, the finance guy. Are we quietly about to get Najee in free agency? I hope not. Najee's been a guy that I have been way too vocal about not liking for way too long, because it drives me nuts. He was Pittsburgh Zeke when they had Tony Pollard. How many years does Jalen Warren have to be the better running back before you hand Jalen Warren the football more than you hand it to Najee Harris? I'm looking for guys that can make it happen on their own a little bit. Like Najee was a high volume guy that if you can block, sure, he'll lean on you. He'll earn the yards. He'll finish runs. I want the juice. I'm 3rd round RJ Harvey, UCF. Let's
go.
Hit home runs.
There you go.
Let's hit home runs. Jaden Blue in the 5th, if I can have him. Let's hit home runs.
Yeah, I think Jaden Blue probably goes before that, but I'm with you on what's going on.
I just go off the world, baby. I want to put him in the 4th. I want to pick everybody in the 4th, Brian. We never have a 4th round pick, and I always want my 4th round pick because I always want my 4th round pick for a running back. And guess what? I can't have him because I have to have Trey Lance and Jonathan Mingo.
Where do you have James from Oregon then on your board?
I'll give you my running back order. You ready for my running back order?
I'm just interested in your 4th round.
James is above the 4th round. How about that?
Okay, that's cool. Who else you got in the 4th round then?
My 4th round is actually, I have Blue in the 3rd. I have
there you go.
My 4th round is Devin Neal.
There you go. Exactly.
And then cheating between the 4th and 5th. Oh, people are gonna love this. Scattaboo.
Yeah. I think that, to me,
I got Rashard Smith in the 5th, the SMU guy.
Ooh, got him in the 3rd myself.
You like him that much?
I do. I think his ability as a pass catcher, a former receiver, I think the explosiveness as a player, I think there's some things you could absolutely do with this. I do. I think that
I agree with that, but isn't this the ultimate lesson that, and I hate doing this over and over and over and over and over again. Doesn't that tell you how easy running back is?
Oh, no.
This kid was at Miami for 3 years and couldn't get on the field as a receiver, and now you're telling me he's a top 100 pick because he just lined up in the backfield to catch the ball?
Oh, no. He's got running skill, though, too. He with the ball in hand.
I like him, but
I can take this thing.
He's somebody else's other back, right? Like he's your change of pace.
Sure.
And how high can you take change of pace? Like I've got Blue in the 3rd, and then I got Smith in the 5th. And because I think, he's not going to be you're not going to hand it to him a bunch because he's not going to maximize runs. He could pop some big ones.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I like him. And now you make me think that I hate him because of where I got him.
No, you hate him, but that's okay. I mean, I mean, I tell you, there's a different stuff. Have you watched the Martinez kid play at Miami?
I have not watched. I got to watch Martinez today. I got to watch Giddens today.
Yeah, get ready for a straight line. If you watch Martinez, get ready for a straight line player, but a guy that just runs over people. Smith is an explosive player. Simple plays, big plays. I mean, I think this guy, the cutbacks, hits the hole, the quick twitch stuff that he does, change of direction. I mean, this
Kids,
guy,
if you can't get on the field at receiver, take your ass to running back. Go to the NFL.
This kid was 15th in the country. If you like metrics, this kid was 15th in the country with 21 carries of 15 plus yards.
Yeah.
Two drops and 51 targets is what that kid had.
I like it. All right, fine. Okay, fine. You know what? I'll put him in front of Scatterboo right now because I don't like Scatterboo.
See, that's the one.
Watch me just move, guys. Smith, you're now the 4-5. Scatterboo, welcome to the 5th round.
Yeah, Professor O says Blue puts the ball on the ground too often.
It didn't. I don't care about that. See, here's the thing, and I think the difference. So my difference, what separates somebody like this is Jadon Blue, Texas, and Brashard Smith, SMU, is Blue is a little bit bigger. So I think you can hand it to him more and know that runs will be maximized a little bit more often in terms of we're just running in the B gap. And his home runs, I think, are even more home runny because I think he's faster. And fumbles, yes, he fumbled 4 times early in the year. And some guys fumble. And then in the NFL, what they do is they tell you, if you fumble my effing football, you will not play football. And Texas knew it too. Texas tried to make him not the starter because he fumbled a few times, 4 times. And then by the time they got to the end of the year and they were trying to win a national championship, guess whose ass was back in the game as the starter and getting the majority of the carries? They knew who their guy was. They had to punish him a little bit. You got to figure out how to hold on to my football. Dude's a ball player. The end.
I love it. I think you're right.
Who my favorite running back debate is, and I'm going to give you 2 names, and you tell me the order you have them in because I think that they are similar, except they're the exact opposite, but they're similar. Dylan Sampson at Tennessee, RJ Harvey at UCF. So they're both shortish and 200 pounds-ish, and I think they can do similar things, but I think they go about it in the exact opposite ways. Like Dylan Sampson will have plays. You can watch the Georgia game and see his insane play where he's going right. And he's like, oh, God, got to go back. Oh, God, going forward. And he scores a touchdown. But he will, for the most part, in that Tennessee offense, you hand him the ball, and if he's going left guard, if he's going right tackle, he's going to press the hole he's supposed to press, and he's going to maximize that run. He'll hit his home runs when they're there. And then RJ Harvey, who's kind of built the same, both speed guys. RJ Harvey, if it's going to left guard or right tackle and he's going to get 2 yards, he's going to run his ass directly to that sideline and see if he can find a home run on every play. Yeah. So, like, similar skill sets, but they go about it very differently. I have them both in the 3rd round.
I absolutely think you got them right. I think I have Sampson over Harvey on my board. I think that to me, the thing that's interesting, and I watched Sampson have production against some really good defenses. And this guy had, if you're looking at metrics again, because I was curious about this, he had 929 yards after contact. It's 70 missed tackles. That was 11th best in the country. There's things that he does. They don't throw him the ball much. The questions always come about these Tennessee offensive players. Are they system players? It takes them time to kind of get up to NFL speed. And so there's some questions about, is this one of those guys that's really a talented guy, really talented college player, but then when you get him in the NFL, will it take some time to get him going? I am a big fan of I am a fan of Harvey as well. I just like Sampson a little bit more. I think when I look at my notes about what I think about Harvey here as I scroll down my board.
I'll tell you what I was going to say. This son of a bitch is big play hunting at all times. It happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
he makes a lot of them.
Yeah, it's funny, Jeff, and I don't know if you think this. I saw this. He's got a really unique running style. and it's kind of a really slow developing style. And then it's kind of like the quarterback brings him the ball and he appears to stop,
Uh-huh.
read what's going on, and then he goes. And
Because he's
for
looking for where is my
yeah.
home run.
No, this guy, exactly 32 carries of 15 plus yards per carry. That's the second most in the country. 38 touchdowns the last 2 seasons. He makes small runs into big runs. He does a really good job of finishing runs too. I mean, you have to applaud him for that. Super reliable catching the football. They use him up the field for like chunk plays. But I did wonder if his size will wear down at the next level. He's kind of a chunky built guy, but he's able to protect himself as a ball carrier. But super smart. This kid's got 2 degrees, by the way, from college already. So
what is that? Golf and fishing? That's what I tried to do. And when I was in college, I was trying to take the easiest class.
If he's got those 2, then good for him. But he's been on numerous honor rolls for that. So I'd say my last line was, just when you think he might be trapped, he's not. That's how this kid plays. So yeah, but I do have Sampson over him. But I have them both in the 3rd round as well.
You don't need to give me a big explanation on this one. I'm just curious because I'm looking at my guys in that range. Do you have Quinshon Judkins ahead of them both, behind them both, or in between them?
Behind them both.
Okay. See, I love it. Ecuador man is in the super chat. Jeff doesn't want Tet. Please convince him, Bryan.
Jeff's the wide receiver whisperer. So if he doesn't like a wide receiver, maybe we should take notice.
Yeah, Sky Moore, Laquan Treadwell. Yeah, I'm crushing it in the wide receiver game. I don't not want him. Yeah. I recognize at 12 that there's some risk there. I need him to be Drake. I need him to be Drake London at 12, and I think he could be. Like, I wouldn't hate that pick at 12 at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I would love at 12 is my problem. So I should probably just say that would be a fine pick.
We might need to be on high alert at 12 that they take a cornerback.
Okay, and if they do that, I think you get an awesome draft debate in my mind.
Well, that's when 12, Will Johnson and those things start to come in.
I would think Will Johnson is the first name that jumps in my mind, but the other one is, if you're going off of 2024 tape only and you're picking the player that's on tape, you're picking Jahdae Barron. Now, in that case, you are picking a 5-year player, sub 5'11", 29 and something arms. So like, you're going to have your scouts looking at it and being like, that's not a perfect corner prospect. And you're going to turn on the tape and you're going to be like, now turn on Johnson's tape and you tell me which one's playing better football. And so I think that would lead to a really fun debate at 12, because I love Barron.
Yeah.
I love Barron, and I love him a ton at 24. At 12, I'm like, we probably could have picked a really good starting offensive lineman here, or we really could have.
If they don't, to me, these offensive linemen, I'm really interested at 12 in Simmons from Ohio State, if we're going to do that.
Same.
Same.
But I am finding more offensive linemen. You'll be proud of me. I've been watching more offensive linemen. I am finding more guys I think can help your offensive line in the 3rd round. I think they're out there.
They're there. Do you? I watched a kid last night from Utah, not Utah, Connecticut. That was pretty good. I was going to ask you this question. Do you know who Jahdae Barron reminds me of?
Don't say Bryan Branch.
No, it's not. Not Bryan Branch.
Okay, if you say Bryan Branch, I would say I'd pick him at 12, and I'd throw a pizza party.
Yeah. Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs.
If he's Trent McDuffie, I want him at 12. Yeah.
I think this kid. He's not Barron. I mean, excuse me, Barron's not. Everybody wants to talk that he's like Bryan Branch. He's not.
Branch is a totally different thing. You think that he is as. The guys that I absolutely love on tape, I hate bringing up the things that I have as their potential negatives, because I love the player and I don't want people to think that I don't love the player.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Trent McDuffie was more sticky when you're just talking man coverage. This MF is trying to route you up. Like, Barron may have a little more oomph and thump to him. I love Barron in a lot of ways. The one thing is, when it's not off coverage where he's exploding forward, I don't think he's the man coverage guy that McDuffie was.
When I read McDuffie's notes, they sounded the same as when I read Barron's notes.
Then you'd feel good at 12 with Barron?
Sure.
because I'd feel knowing what McDuffie is, I'd feel great about McDuffie.
I would feel much better about Barron over Will Jackson or Will Johnson. Excuse me.
I like it.
But the problem is, like I said, the problem is cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys is a very sneaky need. If you look at,
I don't think it's sneaky.
No.
But to that point, you have to acknowledge, like I would acknowledge that if Trayvon Diggs plays this year, it'll be later in the year, and I think it'll be his last year as a Dallas Cowboy too. And right now, you don't have a nickel. Like I think they'll bring J. Lou back. I think
they will. I think they're trying. I think,
and then you still need a corner. So I could see. I think Will Johnson should be one of the favorites to be the Cowboys pick at 12.
He probably would. This thing too is the one guy that I kind of earmarked on my board if they don't sign Jordan Lewis back, and the kid ran great, was the kid from Kentucky, Hairston. But I am a Noah Williams truther from California.
How high? I got him in the third.
I had Hairston even before the combine and stuff. I had Hairston in the third, Noah Williams right behind him.
The world likes Hairston even more than that, Brian. According to the world, we can't have him in the third.
No, well,
you might not be able to have him in the second.
Well, that's where to me he played, and that's even before he went out. The kid, if you want to talk about a nickel type of sticky player, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I like my tiny guys in the nickel. Quincy Riley at Louisville and Upton Stout at, I believe it's Western Kentucky, and Noel Williams. I like all of my 5'10" guys. And I guess Hairston's 5'11", so he's not a huge guy.
Yeah, they're going to, in the chat, they're talking about, I think Bland's the next one they're going to get done. I think Bland's the next one.
I hope so. I feel better about Bland. Like when they signed Diggs, I think when they both had their giant I intercept everything year, the difference was Trayvon Diggs even doing that. I know it became a big story where people are like, who started tracking yards allowed, blah, 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 blah. But Trayvon Diggs was a very boomer bust player. You could pick on him, and he was going to get you at one point, but you could also go after him a lot. I think Bland was getting interceptions while being a better, consistent cover guy. I think Bland deserves it. And he's going to be a guy that you're going to try to do Osa style. We're going to be like, look, you're not top of the market, but we sure would like to sign you. And hopefully they would get that done. I like him a lot. Also signed Tyler Smith. Taj is in the super chat. Have not seen this guy, Brian. I'm screwed. UCLA Jay is
no, I've not seen him yet either.
All right, Taj, you're gonna make me
sorry about that. Yeah,
if it's a super chat, I will add them to my list of guys to watch next because it's a super chat to make sure that I take care of you. So let me type his name in.
Yeah,
Jay.
I've seen a lot of. I watched the Notre Dame defensive tackle last night. Riley Mills. That's the last defensive tackle I watched last night.
I watched.
Have you watched the Colorado receivers?
I have notes from watching Travis Hunter on much like how I found Matthew Golden before he was ranked anywhere. I was watching Bond and I was like, who the hell is number 2? He's the one making all the plays. When I was watching Travis Hunter, I do have notes that said, look up LeJontay Webster. I looked at his number and I was like, this sucker's getting open.
Yeah, those are the next two guys. I looked down the chat here. Dwayne was talking about carryover money that the Cowboys had. He thought they were
carrying over $40 million. You might carry over 15.
Yeah, the thing about it is that carryover money takes care of the dead money on your cap. That's how they
it's factored into the numbers we're giving you. It's already
any carryover money is taking care of dead money on your cap. So don't think you have that money either. I just put it out there.
Yeah. So did you have one of those Colorado receivers you liked? Jimmy Horn?
I've got both of my have to study. Vosh gave me a homework assignment for Friday, and so I've got those two guys to study.
Let me see if I have a guy I've watched recently that I think is worthy of being a homework assignment. I don't know if I do. Have you seen the Boston College right tackle Trapillo?
I've watched. Yeah, I had him in the 4th round. I watched Drew Kendall, his center buddy, in this draft. More of a 4th, 5th round kind of a guy there because I'm just struggling to find centers. I'm just trying to put some centers on my board.
If you want to watch way too many wide receivers, have you watched Kyle Williams?
Have not.
So I was watching a bunch of guys that are supposed to be day 3 wide receivers, and most of them I was like, yep, put your ass way down in day 3. And the one that I watched that I actually liked was Kyle Williams at Washington State. He's like 5'10", 190, 4'4".
There you go. Where's the kid? There's a kid from Eastern Washington that people were telling me about too.
Cooper Kupp.
No, there's another guy from Eastern Washington.
Where is Nick Nash? He's a small school guy. Is that like
San Jose State? Yeah.
I don't know who the Washington.
Yeah. People got to
find
tell me I
out.
got to watch the tape, the red field. Got to watch the red field.
Have you watched? This is Nesto. He's a good, strong watching man. Have you guys looked at Carson Schwessinger? Yes, he's high enough that everybody's seen him at this point. I've got him as a second, third. I think he'll be a top 60 pick.
Put on weight. If you, I think he weighed 240. He was playing at like 227 this year. I think they weighed him at.
Man, he looked like he was playing at 215.
Yeah, he was 240. I think 242 at the combine.
Not a boy. There's another UCLA linebacker that destroyed the combine that I added him to my list to watch. There's another guy that, he was a UCLA linebacker and his athletic testing was holy shit. They got two of them, and I'm gonna have to go watch that guy too.
Oh, right, there he goes. Chisholm. There you go. Chisholm.
Oh, I know the name.
Yeah, there you go. Chisholm.
I know the name, but somebody in this chat asks about him all the time, or did ask about him all the time.
Well, Professor O helped us out with the Chisholm name. Yeah.
All right, let him put him in. I got so many guys I got to watch.
Kyle Williams is a 155-pound guy.
No. What that guy's trying to say is that he's like,
he plays like that. Oh, I see.
A real NFL body.
I see.
There's a bunch of supposedly day 3 guys, and I was watching them all, and they bored me, and I was just like, yeah, it's not good. That's not good. That's not good. And then I watched Kyle Williams, and I was like, holy shit, we actually found one.
There you go.
So yeah, I think he'll be one of those guys that could be like a 4th round, and one of the guys that you look up during the year and go, holy shit, we're 6 weeks into an NFL season, and that 4th round guy's got 450 yards. Yeah. I think he could be that guy. Bryan, we got to go because we both got stuff to do. Got
another podcast after this one. So here we go.
God, I love talking draft. I love talking
draft is cool. Draft is cool.
Would you draft a Jihad or trade back if wiped out? Jihad Campbell at 12 is okay by me. It's okay by me. But much like everyone else, I would rather pick him at 24. But I really like him. I really like him.
Yeah, he is a good linebacker.
All right, everybody have a great day.
Hey, Bri.
Hey, Bri, have a great day. Thanks for being around for another episode of Is It the Hot Dog or Is It the Bun?
Now, this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog, too.
And remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you.